Hey there, welcome to Herman Haven. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jackie. We're so excited to invite you into our safe space. Hermit Haven is like a cozy little hideout where we can celebrate being confident in ourselves as we find happiness in quiet moments.
So grab your favorite blanket and your favorite drink, and let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, I'm Jackie. Welcome back to Hermit Haven.
Hi, I'm Ashley. We're excited to have you. This week, we're going to be chatting about a boss babe mindset and how it's more than just being like a boss babe and doing the work, but like it's really about the mindset and what is being a boss babe.
Yeah. And right before we started, I was telling Ashley that I feel like this is more than just if you're working or if you are like a business owner, if like boss babe's always associated with like working moms, which totally, but I feel like the boss babe mindset that we're going to be talking about is just, it can be applied to anyone, any woman. If you're a stay-at-home mom, it doesn't matter. It's just someone that like wants to be like locked in, like taking care of themselves, taking care of all the things, and just able to like live the best life. But it's like a mindset that you have to be in. Otherwise, you can really get dragged into and get burnt out. So
Sure. I feel like I need this episode because I feel like I've just been like so like lost. I was like telling Jackie the other day, or I was just telling Jackie today, but I was telling her about the other day how in the middle of the night I just like sat down, like after I fed Ari and put him to sleep, I literally just sat down and just like made a list of like things I need to do, like my get to do list, and like all these like video ideas and all these things I have in my brain that like just need to be put out. And now I'm like, I need to organize these. I need to like make this like work, you know?
yeah, it's also we are both. I think I would love to be a type A person, but I know that I'm a type B person, and Ashley is the same. And so I feel like when you're a, like type B, or like I have self-diagnosed with myself with ADHD, my just time management, people think that I have time management, but I like fake it really well. And so a lot of this I feel like has to do with like how to organize life and like get focused easier, right? Because when things are like in place, then you can hop from one thing to the next and get in that focused mode easier rather than being like, okay, I'm ready to do XYZ. But what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing? Where am I?
It's so
Which is
true. Or you get like
amazing.
distracted. You're like, oh, I need to look up that thing about something, and then you're stuck on this website for like 20 minutes down a rabbit hole about something else. It's so
Yeah.
true. Like
Yeah. Child needs a snack. Got to get back up.
literally. I think it's funny too. You're saying like, have you heard about the new type like C mom?
Yeah.
I feel like that could be us too because we have like a schedule that we want to follow, and then we're like, what's the schedule again? Where's the schedule? What are we doing?
We really do try so hard. Like, we really do try.
We do.
But it takes so much effort. And I always just thought maybe I was broken. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Because I really want to be that person. And it just takes so much effort, like so much brain space.
Yes. I think that's what like being a boss babe actually like means though in a way too. It's not just like, okay, I show up and do the work. It's that I consistently want more. Like I want to be the best at this. I want to figure out how to make this work. And I think like when you think of boss babe, you're like, oh, that's the person that just like makes hundred thousands of dollars, right? No, there's so much behind that. Or like you were saying, like, oh, boss babe is like the mom that works so hard at home, right? It's not the mom that just makes dinner and does all these things. Like there's that mindset behind it, like her why, like what is driving her, right? Like I think it's the consistently, how do I make this work, right? No matter what I do. Something we were talking about too is like before we hopped on, we always have these like conversations before we hop on, but we were talking about how we want to like pre-set up everything like for our content. We want to like get ahead. We want to do all these things. That is the mindset of a boss babe. And someone that's always trying to figure out the next plan. It's not just sitting there saying, well, this is working. Let's just keep with this, right? No, it's someone that's like, let's keep going.
Yeah. Anything that I can try to like front load or do in advance or like have a plan for. And I know people are like, I can't have like the hour by hour schedule. And like, you don't have to. This is just I'm just, I mean, this is like squirrel braining. But I know that if I have a plan for my day, I will get things done. If I'm like, this is what I need to get done, then I'll get it done. But if I'm just like, la da 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 da, what do I need to do today? Then like, literally, it just
Right.
nothing happens. But I think the more than the hustle part, we kind of added that in because I feel like these days we're just, as women, as moms, whatever, like we are just doing all the things, right? Like there's a lot that falls on our plate, whether you're a mom or not, whether you're working or, or you're not. And it just, we just get burnt out. And I have a really hard time asking for help, which we've talked about in other episodes. And I'm learning to take time for myself, and what a game changer for my mental health it is when I just take even a little bit of time for myself. Like it literally changes everything. And so I think the more than the hustle for me is like making yourself a priority. And we can talk more into that, but there's just,
Yeah.
it's a whole mindset. Yeah.
You
That
can't just
really,
like I feel like we're all just trying to survive, but like it's more than survival. It's, survival just keeps you where you're at, but like having this boss babe mindset takes you past survival. It takes you to this land of, yes, I'm surviving, but I want more. And
yeah,
I could have more, right?
yeah,
It's not, I think too, it's not comparing your grass to someone else's grass. Like, what you have is what you have. And so you're going to work 20 times harder for that.
yeah. Agreed. Like sometimes I have to like the kids are out there, and like I know that they're out there, and so when I'm talking on here it takes me just like a little bit to like get, it's the same exact what we're talking about right now. It just like takes me a few minutes to like get in the mindset, because we are always like on. I don't know if that's everyone, but my brain is just always going with like what I need to be doing at all times, and like what could interrupt me at all times. And
Yeah.
it just like sometimes I just like need a few minutes to just be like, okay,
No,
here
I
we go.
understand that. But I think that's part of it too, is like, making it work, like, figuring out what do I have to tell myself to continue to move on and keep going, to do the things you need to do. It's showing up, willing to show up messy and still own whatever it is, right? It's willing to believe in yourself when you haven't been proven yet that it's going to work out, right? It's truly like listening to your instincts and saying, I can do whatever this is.
Yeah. I like that you just said like showing up even if it's messy, because and I like the no excuses mindset, but I think it really just depends on your personality. Some people just take it too hard, like too much. But it's true, like my children are out there, my husband's not home. We decided to do this podcast, so we're making time for it. Like we're clear, like we're not getting paid for it yet, but like we're this is important to us. And it's like my child could walk in at any minute, and if that happens, then we have to like stop the recording. Ashley has to edit it out. Like there's a series of events. But instead of being like, oh wait, like maybe we should wait for, Glenn to be home or whatever, we're like, no, we're just gonna go for it. And like we're just gonna do it. And I feel like that's part of the boss mind, like the part of the mindset what we're talking about right now is like sometimes you just have to not be scared that it's gonna get messed up or it's not gonna be perfect, and just go for it and just do it because it's something that means something to you. It's
Mhm.
something that's going to like further, your I was going to say progress. That's not what I'm looking for. Like further your fulfillment, in life,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
I I mean, I
that's
think
harder.
I think too, like, we're not perfect. So, what worked today might not work tomorrow. And I think that's part of that mindset is you can't get frustrated that what you did yesterday didn't work today, right? It's continue to like prevail. It's continue to move on. It's continue to like say, I am building something. I am doing this for me. I'm doing this for whoever. And I am trying to make this work.
Yeah, I think the best way too, because everyone's different, so everyone needs different things. Some people need more time to themselves. Some people don't. Some people, whatever. We all need different stuff. I think at the end of the day, ask yourself, like, how do I feel right now? Do I feel depleted? Do I feel fulfilled? Do I feel like, and then what do I need to feel like my best? Like, what could I have maybe done differently? Maybe I could have asked for some time to myself. Maybe tomorrow I need, someone to watch my kids in the evening or after they go to bed. Like, I just need to take time for me. Um, or maybe whatever it is. I don't know. You need help with the dishes, the laundry, like whatever, because you work all day long and you come home and, you just need help with some stuff at home. Like you don't want to just be doing the things all day long and not get to see your children. Like you just kind of have to, at the end of the day, be like, what could I have done differently today? Or what could I do differently moving forward? Like, what do I need? You know?
Right?
I, yeah, I feel like if we're don't often ask ourselves, like, what do I need? And that could be just like a game changer for the way that your days shift and work and how much you can add in to do something that makes you feel fulfilled. Maybe that is a side hustle, or maybe that is, more time with your kids or more time with your spouse or working out, doing whatever it is that you need, like that you aren't getting. And you have to be asking yourself, like, what do I need and how can I make that happen? Where can I fit it in?
I think too, it's and like I think something because you've been saying this for a while. You're like, I want to like have like a day where I just like go to like a coffee shop and just like have office hours, right? So instead of it's not just saying it, it's really like committing to it and finding time. And I think sometimes we say stuff in certain seasons and it doesn't happen in that season, and that's okay because then it happens in the next season. Like sometimes you need to work up to it. Like you're building this like idea, you're building a why in your head, and that why sometimes takes time to like act on, and that's completely okay, right? It's something we talked about in another episode of the power of the why, right? So I think, respecting like in this season, I can only do XYZ. So I have all these ideas, but that these ideas it might be for next season, and that's okay, right? That's what being a boss babe is constantly being like, that would be so cool if I did this. That would be so cool if I did that. That would be so cool I did this. And then actually like, right, like for example, one lifetime ago I did a vlog, right? Another lifetime ago I did some digital products, right? I made some t-shirts, right? I tried all these different things, right? And I would like to go back to some of these things, but it's deciding what works in this season and what's not going to work in this season and then making time for it, right? Something I know Jackie does is she wakes up a little earlier just to have time to herself, right? So it's sacrificing, her sleep. It's sacrificing these things, right? So she can have this time to herself. So it's creating a schedule where even though you might want to sleep longer, you still got to go do the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's like it's such a balancing act of knowing when do I need the rest and like to actually slow down and when do I need to just push through a little bit. Now, if like we are the only people that know that for ourselves, but I feel like a lot of people, myself included, sometimes do need to push a little bit. Like we do need to push a little bit harder to be like, okay, I want to start doing whatever it is. I don't have time for that. Well, that means you got to take time from somewhere else, and it could be like watching TV or something that you do like that, or it could be something else that you have to kind of juggle around a little bit. And in order to get like that time for whatever that is that you need in your life, and I think that's like the hardest for me is putting that time towards myself. Like I can do it if it's exercising. I'm like, oh yeah, that's worthy apparently in my head. But going to the coffee shop and like taking that time for myself, I keep telling Ashley this and I still haven't done it. So like I just need to know that I'm worthy of that time and actually put it on the calendar. Cause it's not like Glenn's like, no, you can't do that. Like he definitely isn't telling me that. It's me. Um, and part of this mindset is our actual mindset and how we think about ourselves. Like that actually is a huge part of our lives and how happy we are and like how much things get done and just everything. It comes back to like what we feel like we're worthy of.
Yeah.
And we're like the ones that are holding ourselves back majority of the time because we're like, oh no, I just don't have time for that. Well, you probably do, but like you got to take it from somewhere else. So do you just not feel worthy of that time? Or, like taking that time for yourself and taking it away from someone else or something else? Like a lot of it has to do with how you think about yourself.
Yeah, it's a
Like it's
mind
to,
it's your mindset. You have to shift your mindset to further where you want to go. Like if you're just saying, "Oh, well, I just don't have time," and that's it, then you're not pursuing whatever it is, right? Like it's that mindset shift. You really need to push yourself. Like instead of saying like, well, why can't I have all the things that other person has? It's I'm ready for it and open yourself to it too. I think when you tell the world what you want and you manifest it, you like put it out there, your desires and your dreams, like you start seeing things come into reality. It's like when you hear about that random brand that you've never heard about, and then all of a sudden you like notice it everywhere. It's the same concept, right? And that's part of like that boss babe mindset is having that mindset shifts is saying, I can do anything. I am worthy of this. I am enough. I can create. I can show up, right? And I think too, it's realizing like what someone else is doing isn't going to always be what you can do, right? So like someone might be able to clean their whole house in 4 hours and you're like, "Man, I wish I can clean my whole house in 4 hours." Right? And then you attempt to do it and you get frustrated because you're not able to do it because you can't show up that way, right? You might be the type of person that says, "I'm going to clean all my bathrooms today." That is I know I can do that and I know I can show up. Okay, then the next week you clean all the bedrooms, right? Like it's a mindset shift saying, well, I don't think I could do all of it like that person's doing it, but that's okay because I'm going to make it work for me.
Yeah. Once upon a time, I really wanted to go to the gym. I think Gavin was just maybe really little. I can't remember why I decided I was going to go in the morning. I just, I was like working. I had a small child, and so I went. Like I was one of those super early people that went like before the sun was up at like 5 something in the morning. And surprising how many people are in there at that that early. I was like, dang, it was like full. But I wanted to get a workout in, and that's apparently when I could fit it in. And so like I did it. And I didn't love going that early, but I made it happen. And so sometimes it's just like really juggling things in your mind to be like, when can I fit another thing in?
Mhm.
Um, but I just think that like women don't put enough time into themselves. I think this is just like a trend. Some women do, but like I feel like this is just a trend that I've seen with a lot of my friends where we get burnt out because we're not taking time for ourselves. And then we finally take time for ourselves and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to be better. But then it happens again and it's like this whole cycle. And so burnout like sucks and it can be really detrimental to our mental health too. Like you're saying, like you start to fall into the like comparison. Why can this girl I still do it all the time. Like I'm always like, how come they can do all of these things and I can't? Well, maybe they have a nanny, like maybe they have family that's watching their kids, like maybe whatever, there's external circumstances that are happening, or maybe they just decided that they wanted it more and they're sacrificing time in other places to get it that I don't feel like I want to sacrifice, and that's okay too. But burnout is like just such a cycle, and I don't know if there's like a way to totally avoid it unless you were like perfect at taking that time for what you need. But definitely, like I like to get up early, like Ashley said, and just have that little bit of time before the boys wake up so that I can just start my day in this like different mindset than if I wake up and it's like they're just going crazy, right? Or in the evenings, like turning my phone off at a certain point and just reading is just like a way that I like to wind down. I don't Glenn be watching the TV and I just don't prefer to watch the TV. I want to sit and just read and just like chill. Anyway, I'm not trying to get off track, but burnout is just something that I've experienced so many times in so many different seasons, whether I was working, whether I was not working, like all the time. And I just know, like for me at least, and I think this is the key for a lot of people, is just like making sure that you're doing something for you
Yeah,
almost every
100%.
day, at least a few times a week.
I think it's besides doing something for yourself is the way you talk to yourself, like making sure you're talking to yourself. Like when you talk about yourself, talking to yourself, like it's loving, it's peaceful, it's positive, right? I think that's a lot of times too, like, right, we get so down on our own self or we feel so guilty because we can't do X, Y, and Z. And then we create this like, well, nothing gets done. You get even more burnt out because you're not meeting these like this like positive like this positivity. You're meeting this negative.
Yeah, it happens especially like during my cycle. The other morning, I woke up and I just was in like this spiral, this like negative spiral about random things that I don't even think about. And like the normal me knows I would not normally spiral about that, but it's just like hormones, right? And that's how easy though it is. Like you start like going in this spiral, and I feel like years ago, before I started doing the affirmations and like journaling and all the things, I was like, this is how I am. This is just me. This is how I am. This is how I'm going to be. And like, did not realize that I could actually change my personality at all. And granted, I'm still a lot the same me, but affirmations were not something that I ever did. I didn't I didn't speak about myself highly at all, and I'm still very much working on it. But like you were saying, and this is about mindset, like your mindset dictates so much of your life. Even just going on Pinterest in the morning, super quick, take like 1 minute, go on Pinterest and search affirmations. Just search affirmations and just read a few of them. Start there. Like if you cannot be like, I am amazing and actually believe it, cool. Just like go read some affirmations. Just start there. And eventually it gets easier and easier and easier. Or listen to a podcast about this stuff,
Mhm.
on your way to work or while you're doing the dishes, little headphone in. Like there's just so many ways. And after being consistent with it, like anything else, you really do start to change your mindset. It's so much easier for me now when I'm in that down spiral. That's why I was talking about this. But eventually I get back to my thought. When I'm like in my down spiral, it's so much easier now to be like, Jackie, this isn't you. This is your hormones. Get out of it. Just let it go. Just let it go and just move along to a better thought. But I used to not be able to do that. And I would dwell on things for days, for days. And yeah, it's just so much easier for me to get out of that now. And since it's easier, I'm moving you guys. Since it's easier for me to get out of it quicker, it's easier for me to get into productive things and be the boss babe that I want to be because I'm not sitting there in my thoughts for hours and days on end, you know?
I think too, one of the things about this boss babe mindset is dreaming about the woman you wanna be, like, dreaming about the things that, like, when people think about you, what they associate you with, like, and dreaming about that woman you wanna be, and then showing up even when you're not getting results, when you're falling behind, when you're feeling like you can't do all the things, right? And that's the thing too is not being hard on yourself, like, having a boss babe mindset is, "I'm gonna put together the puzzle pieces I can put together today, and I'm gonna move forward, and I'm gonna keep doing those things." Something Jackie and I talk about, and this might be more on the work side, right? We sit here and we talk about all the time, like, what our goals are for content, what our things are, but the thing is in reality, we haven't really been showing up the last few months creating that content. But the fact is, we're still telling each other, I'm thinking about creating this content. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about that, right? That is that boss babe mindset. No matter what, we are always dreaming of what's next. The same thing with this podcast. How many times have I said, Jackie, we're going to take this podcast and travel the world with it, right? Is that happening right now? No. Are we getting results like that? No. But are we showing up no matter what? Because we're dreaming about what that future holds for this podcast? 100,000,000,000%. And I think that's what's so important about that boss babe mindset is it's not about seeing results because results take time, right? Jack can tell you more about planting, I don't know, but that whole metaphor where you plant a seed, it doesn't grow overnight. It takes months. It takes time to see those results from your planting, right? It's the same thing with like my cute little baby boy. Like the things we're doing with him now, reading books, talking to him. I'm not going to see those results of him progressing, right? All I see right now is he's sleeping. That's what he does best. He sleeps, right? But, we're talking to him all the time. We're telling him what we're doing. We're reading books. So it could take 8 to 10 months until I start seeing those results of him talking and reading those books. But if I don't show up and take those steps, right, and be mindful, so important, be mindful, knowing what I'm doing now is for later, then you don't have that boss babe mindset, unfortunately. The boss babe mindset shows up when you know what you're doing might not show results today, might not show anything today, right? You might never see any results on that, but it's the attempt to keep trying and trying and trying and showing up as the woman you want to be.
Yeah, I think that's exactly like the overarching, like what this episode is about is that you have to track your progress if you're going to track something like or be mindful of something, the progress, not the results, because you can't force the result to happen. All you can do is just stay on track. Like I told Ashley, and I'll post this in the group since we're on here. I'll be posting it. I'm going to do the 75 medium. I started today. I made a whole little checklist, but I made a checklist not for results that I want. There's no like, I want to be this weight. I want to be this body fat percentage. I didn't make that I didn't even write that down. That's not even on there. I wrote down, these are the 4 things I want to do each day. And I made a little checklist for myself digitally. And I just want to check it off and see how many times I'm checking it off. And that, because I'll see the, if I keep doing that, I'll see the results, right? If I'm doing the progress stuff, I will eventually see the results.
Mhm.
But if I don't know, then it doesn't happen. So anyway, um, but it's true for that works for everything. You want to have a better mindset? Well, write down a little checklist for yourself. Every morning, I'm going to go look at affirmations on Pinterest and take less than a minute to read them out
And you
and
may
do that for 2 weeks. See how much
yeah.
better you feel.
And some people might not do good with a checklist, so whatever works for you, if it's just like putting a reminder, like putting a sticky note up somewhere, like putting it on the calendar as an appointment, whatever like works for you is how it's gonna work. And I think too, breaking it up in steps, like something we've been talking about is we have all this content we want to post, right? And a lot of it we can pre-make. So just taking an hour, right? When I have that hour, instead of like scrolling or playing Monopoly Go again, don't ask me why I'm playing Monopoly Go again, but anywho, is sitting down and saying, what can I prep right now, right? Or like, I know I'm gonna post something for Father's Day for Matt, right? Instead of like procrastinating and waiting until Sunday to write the post, I can literally prep that all right now while I'm sitting on my phone doing nothing, right? So it's setting up your mindset. How can I get ahead? How can I like do these things? Like it's really honing into what you want. And I think too, it's them being honest with yourself. Like, what is working? What is not working? What can I do to get there?
Yeah. I think like I just thought of like habit stacking. I feel like that comes into play also, and we're like trying to see the progress. And like you said, like you don't have to have a checklist, but just you have to know that you have to be consistent. I just wanted to throw that in there. You have to be consistent with whatever it is in order to see progress. You can't just like look at affirmations every once in a while and expect your mindset to change. You can't just like work, watch what you're eating once a week and just expect to like lose weight. Like it's for anything, right? Same with the promotion. Like you can't just expect to work hard like 1 day a week and then expect a promotion at your job. Like it doesn't work that way. You have to be consistent with whatever you're doing. Um, what was I just saying before that? Got off on a tangent. What were we talking about? Man, this is my brain, you guys.
It's okay. I think we were just talking about like you have to show up and like it's about being consistent.
No, but there was something else I was gonna say. It's fine. We'll move along, but consistency is so important. I had to make sure that I mentioned it. I'm sure I'll remember what I was talking about.
It's so true because I was like, I feel like I'm not consistent. And so like I'm just it's like not like I'm not seeing results. And that's okay too, right?
Sorry, go ahead. I remember what I was talking about.
Go ahead. Go ahead before you lose
Well,
it.
habit stacking.
Oh, there you go.
It's like I know it's something semi-important, but like I do try to habit stack if I can. Like while I'm folding laundry, maybe that's when I catch up on a show that I want to watch or a movie that I want to watch or listening to my audiobook. I listen to audiobooks while I do everything. It has been such a game changer, not to like get off topic, but for me to get things done, I put in either a podcast or my audiobook, and I can just then I'm like in the zone. I don't know why that mentally puts me in a place where I'm just like, okay, it's go time. Like Glenn puts on his shoes in the house and in the morning, like he wakes up and puts his shoes on, and that like tells his brain like it's go time. Putting in my like headphone tells me it's go time. Anyway, but habit stacking is really so helpful if you're trying to be consistent and get things done. And that's all I really had to say.
No, I get it. I think, I think honestly, like every episode we talk about kind of goes in with every other episode. Like they're all kind of similar. They kind of all have like the same flow. I think like with this episode, we really want to hone in that. Right? Everything you do, if it's showing up to be a mom, if it's showing up to take care of your house, if it's showing up to create content, if it's showing up at your job, it's about your mindset. It's not about what you're going to see at the end. It's not if you're getting results. It's not if you're getting praises. It's not, none of that. It's, I'm going to continue working hard for however long it takes to get to that goal. It's building that life of, yes, I want this. So I'm going to continue doing this, right? It's building that dream life. Like, I know I want to take a cruise next year, right? I can't just hop on a plane and go take a cruise, right? I have to work harder. I have to side hustle. I have to create an income, right? Or something that's really been on my mind, and Jackie knows, is I just want to stay home with my baby, right? And so like I have to find a way. And that's something about me. And like it's funny because my parents always tell me I say this too, but anytime like I want something big, not something little, I tell myself I will figure it out. That's who I am. I will figure it out. And I just build that confidence. Do I know how I'm going to figure it out? No. Do I have a way? I don't know. But it's consistently telling myself I will figure it out, right? I will do the things. And I think too, I've been really trying to post, and I think this is something too, you kind of stretch yourself thin sometimes trying to do so much. So like right now I'm currently um trying to just post one a day on TikTok. And it's been really hard, and I feel like I'm not consistent still. Like I skipped a day or two, but I have another day, and I am just trying to find that consistency, right? So it's sometimes you have to build one skill to get to the next skill. But that's again part of that mindset is saying, okay, I know I'm not consistent, so that's the skill I'm going to work on because that's going to help me build what I want. It's going to help me build this life of yes, because what a boss babe is someone that doesn't say no. Someone that shows up no matter how hard it is. Someone that shows up and says, okay, well, plan A didn't work, plan B didn't work, plan C didn't work, plan D didn't work. All right, let's just try the next plan, right? It's someone that says, no matter if I get these results, I will still continue showing up. It's someone that's dedicated to the cause, whatever that cause is. It's someone that's saying, I'm passionate enough or I want this enough that I will show up.
Amen. I love that.
And I think so. Go
I have
ahead.
homework when you're done.
But I think, I think if you are sitting there saying to yourself, how can I show up for myself? How can I show up for my business? How can I show up and create, right? For example, right? You have a child that wants to do an after school activity. You guys don't have the budget. Then that boss babe move is to show up and say, how can I create that for my child? Or, I really want a new wardrobe. How can I create that for myself? What can I do? Right? It's finding a way and finding a, like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, I literally want to buy my son more books, but I shouldn't buy him more books. So I went and sold my old books so I can buy him new books, even though he can't read yet. Right? Like, it's sacrificing sometimes your time, your needs for something bigger and bigger and better. And so, like, me trying to show up on TikTok every day, I'm in the TikTok shop. I have like over 1,000 followers. Like, if I just kept showing up, could I get to the part where I'm getting paid for each video? Yes. And so I just have to keep doing the things. Or like I have access to Amazon reviews. Should I be showing up on Amazon reviews? Yeah, because maybe one Amazon review video will pop off and I'll be making thousands of dollars off that. Like you never know what a small action can do or taking the time to try all the things can do to get to you where you want to be.
What you just said basically falls into what the homework that I want to give everyone.
Go for it.
So if depending on like kind of like what your goal is or what you need. So maybe your goal is you want a better mindset for yourself. You want more like positive mindset, the way that you think about yourself. I want you to write down the things if you could like the most perfect person. Like if you could be anyone and have any traits, right? Like what would you be? Maybe you want more patience or you want to be more connected with your kids or whatever. Just write down like these are the things that I would be. I would be XYZ. I would always tell I would look in the mirror and tell myself I'm beautiful. Like whatever. I don't know. So I want you to write down like those things about yourself. And then I want you to think about this is the homework part. Well, that is part of the homework too, but how can I get to those things? Like if you feel like you are not patient, okay, how can you get more patience? How can you practice that? Because really it's a practice. It's not like you just like can go somewhere and buy it. Or if your goal is, you look I'm in a physical health like goals right now and I doing my 75 medium. And it's like, I want to lose my body fat. Well, how can I do that? Well, these are the ways like this, you have to like almost like formulate a little plan, right? For each goal. It's like being that problem solver. I had
Yep.
other
The
ideas.
3 steps, like the 3 steps you're going to take to get to that goal.
Yeah. Or like, I want more time for myself. Like, how can I make that happen? I want to read more books. Like when it's just like figuring out like the little plan for each little goal that you have. And once you kind of have that plan, it's easier. Otherwise, you're just sitting there like, well, I want this, but I can't have it.
Yeah. I think, can I add to your homework? I would say also with each goal, what affirmations are you going to say to get to that like mindset? Because again, right? Oh, I'm going to clean my house today. Okay. That's not very motivating, but I have a clean house. My house is clean. I am lucky I get to live in this house and I'm lucky I get to clean it. Well, now I feel more motivated, right? So it's how, like, are you going to create these things to make them happen?
Even like visualization is such a huge thing. And any like person that is very successful, if you go listen to them talk, they'll tell you that they visualized what they wanted. I mean, people like sports, what am I trying to say? Sports people, basketball players, like golfers, like whatever,
Huh?
people that play sports, they visualize their end result.
I
They
mean,
they visualize it in their head what they want before they actually do it.
I
And
mean,
I think it's like for me, I'm just speaking for myself, that just felt weird when I started doing it. But like I visualize the body that I want. I visualize like the patience, the joy and like the feelings that I want. Like I try to visualize that almost like a meditation, I suppose, but
yeah.
visualize what you want happening. And then, asking God or the universe or whoever, like the ideas will start to come to you, how you can make those things happen.
That's
Or
was like my journey in Orlando. Like I visualize me like working for Disney. I worked for Disney. I visualize like me waking up to fireworks every day. We had that at our old apartment where I could see fireworks every night, right? I visualize this like man I'm gonna fall in love with in Orlando. Fell in love with a man in Orlando. Like, right? You just have to visualize and you have to believe it, right? That's part of that mindset.
yeah.
So, but I think we like really hit the nail on what we want you to take away from this episode is it's not just about putting in the work and seeing results. It's about putting in time to yourself to create this mindset and work on and then see those results because you're showing up, you're doing the things you need to do and whatever it is. And stay tuned. Our next episode, it's going to be talking more about like taking rest, and that's kind of what our theme's going to be for this season. Is kind of like your mindset, taking rest, and what season we're in. And we love you. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next Wednesday. And if you do like this episode, like, comment, and we'll see you in our Facebook group for more discussion. And follow along and sign up for emails if you want to know about each episode beforehand. We love you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks for spending time with us today and being part of our Hermit Haven community.
We hope you enjoyed our cozy chat and are inspired to embrace your inner hermit.
Remember, even in the quiet moments, you're never alone on this journey because we are truly all in this together.
So until next time, stay cozy, stay true to yourself, and keep spreading love wherever you go.
Bye for now.
We'll see you next time.